Well, hey, I'm Josh with Josh Lavik and Associates. We are a team here in the Madison area, and we're brokered by eXp Realty. So we are a part of that organization and that group as well. Wanted to just run through a few reasons why we decided to move our team over to eXp Realty and why you might want to also consider partnering with us and helping us in our journey as we serve our clients in the Madison area and beyond. So thought I'd just go through a few of the reasons why we made the move and why maybe it might be a good possible fit for you. So our mission at our team has been for a long time, and that's to give our clients real value that really makes the home buying and selling process a much more enjoyable experience. In other words, we really are passionate about providing a better real estate experience, and we really try to do that, go above and beyond, and try to go better than any other firm out there. So with that in mind, when we looked at the eXp opportunity, we used that kind of as our filter and our lens to say, does this make sense? And can it help us fulfill our mission of providing a better experience? Well, we found that really the main reason that we joined, and the one reason that you might want to consider joining us, is access. Okay. And it's access to people, resources, coaching, mentoring, training, all kinds of different stuff. So access is probably one of the biggest reasons we made the move, and really the main reason that I think it's even worth considering today. So access. So to top performers in the real estate industry. So prior to joining eXp, I'd been in the real estate business for 14 years, was already kind of a top producing agent in our area, didn't necessarily need eXp. I mean, I was already succeeding at a pretty high level, but I also felt like I was hitting a little bit of a plateau. So I'm the kind of growth-minded person and always looking to get to that next level. And one of the opportunities that I saw was just having access to more top performers in the industry. So, if you were to join me in the organization, obviously you'd have access to me 100% of the time. So if you have any questions about, how to run your buyer presentation or your listing presentation, or what's the right process for hiring your first administrative person, what do I need to do and consider, what does your checklist look like, all those questions that as agents you have to go through and figure out. I've been working on building these over the last 16 years in real estate, and I'm grateful to be among the top 2% of all agents in our area. I've been featured a couple times on HGTV. I got my master's in business from UW-Madison. I mean, I'm really a community leader. I'm involved in tons of different groups and always learning and growing, willing to share. I also do a bunch of coaching of other agents as well on an ongoing basis. So so you'd get access to me through if you joined our group, obviously, but then also our group. Our group is full of just amazing agents and leaders. One of them is Dan Beer, who I've known for years, got to know him through my previous brokerage, but he leads one of the top producing teams over in San Diego County, and he's always pouring into our group and helping our group grow and mentor one another. People like Curtis Johnson runs one of the top teams out in Phoenix. Jay Kinder, he was the former number 2 agent at Coldwell Banker, and then eventually went out his own, and then eventually came to eXp and continues to pour into our group and help us grow. Kyle Whistle also leads one of the top producing teams out in San Diego. He's regularly involved in our group that I'm a part of, and it's just amazing to have access to the kind of leadership and mentoring that I'm getting through these guys. So why do they provide that? Well, the main reason that they're willing to mentor and coach me, and why I'm also willing to mentor and coach other people that are willing to look at this opportunity, is access to additional revenue opportunities. What do I mean? So at eXp, we have something called revenue sharing. So part of the money paid to eXp and your out of each commission goes, the company gives back part of that money out of that 20%. Everybody's on an 80-20 split, but out of that 20%, they give some of it back to agents that have helped grow the company in what they call revenue share. So what does that do for you? Well, for you, it means, and what it does for me, is that instantly there's a financial incentive for me to want to help you succeed. And for those other agents I just mentioned, the Dan Beer and the Kyle Whistle and all those other, top agents, that there's a financial incentive for them to want to mentor and help and coach me in my business. So, it's really just an incredible opportunity. And it really just creates this financial alignment where we all just really want to help each other. So I can go deeper on that if you're interested. It does go kind of 7 levels deep, and there's different percentages and blah, 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 and you can run through different examples. At the end of the day, I think what matters is that it's available, and it can be a big deal if you choose to access it. So, but again, access being the main driver. So access to what we have is through world-class training and education. So how do we do training and education at eXp? Happens in a lot of different ways. So we have access to over 40 hours of training classes through our eXp world. You can log in and boom, pull up your class at a moment's notice. We've also got access to more collaboration than any other company I've ever experienced. So if you're, if you ever go onto Facebook, right, you're familiar with, right, you're commenting and you can interact with people really quickly and real time. Well, our workplace, which is like Facebook, but for work, there's so many groups on there. You got a question about database. I'll tell you what, there's a group on there with like 10,000 people in it, and they can answer your database question. Absolutely. There's so much collaboration and just sharing that's happening in the company that's just amazing. So, but again, access to direct mentoring, not just from anybody, but from industry leaders. We're getting people, like Albie Stasic and John Kitchens. He's one of the leading coaches that they had a private coaching company, and then they joined eXp and are regularly pouring into our group. He goes every week. He has a one-on-one call for like an hour long, and they'll do a deep dive on agents that have sold over $1 million in gross commission income. Do you think that I can learn from them? Do you think you could learn from them? Absolutely. It's just massive. People like Grant Cardone. He's maybe not the right personality fit for everybody, but he is, without question, has some amazing sales training and tips that can be learned, and he's there available to pour into us. So, but then there's other people like Chuck Fazio, and he's just got one of the biggest hearts of anyone I've met, and just really a strong person of faith, and just always kind of giving back, and integrity is such a huge thing for him, and just, really doing things the right way, and how do we build culture the right way. And to me, it's just being around these kind of leaders is really exciting. So, what else? We're also get access to them through Zoom. So we also do Google meetings. We also have our private Facebook groups. We also have all kinds of different stuff, but we also do in-person events. I was just at an event, life-changing event with Tony Robbins. He was our keynote speaker, Brent Gove event, and Brent Gove's amazing. He's just an absolute genius. Got to meet Glenn Sanford, who founded eXp Realty. It was, talk about a life-changing experience. This guy is just, the vision that he had for this company when he started it was pretty incredible. So, it's not just happening online and in the cloud. We're doing in-person, life-changing events, and it's really making an impact. So, what else? Access. We're talking about access to ownership, equity through stock offerings. So that was kind of a big deal for me. I was at a point in my career where, I was fairly successful, but I wasn't. What was my next level in terms of an evolution as an agent? Become, maybe a market center owner, or open my own totally owned company. And I thought about that, but through eXp, we all get an opportunity to earn stock, and we get ownership opportunities, and we get it just for doing our job, buying and selling homes and helping people buy and sell homes, and really sharing the opportunity with more people, and being able to, it's something I never really thought much about stock. I don't own a ton of stocks, but what I love about it is I've earned some stock just in less than 2 years, a substantial amount, and it came there just basically by doing my job, and that was just selling houses. And then through the way that it comes in, it just builds over time. And so it's something that, I mean, I think I didn't join eXp just for the stock, and I don't think anybody should join just because you're going to get stock. But if you couple that with some of the access to the people and the other revenue sharing opportunities and some of these other things that this company is doing, it's an absolutely compelling thing to do. But, it is a publicly traded company, and I was, like I said, I don't own a ton of stocks, so I was kind of skeptical. And, I was on the eXp World Holdings investor page and reading a bunch of articles and pulling up the different, their K1s and all the different reports that they have to report because they're a publicly traded company, researching them on Yahoo Finance and other things like that. So, I think there's certainly a benefit there, because as a publicly traded company, they have to follow certain guidelines and rules. But then we can also share in the growth of the company as well. So what else? Access to faster growth. That was definitely a compelling reason why I joined. And to me, it was having access to some of these other larger leaders and players within the industry. But because my thought was, if I can grow faster through them, then it's going to help my business, from day one, right? Because that's ultimately what I cared most about, is my core business of helping buyers and sellers. Certainly, stock and revenue share and other benefits might be there, but I was looking at faster growth. So how do we get there? So at a kind of traditional company, they typically have, much larger office spaces, right? So you've got, traditional office is like, you have a large office, you usually have larger expenses, different levels of management, and then there might even be franchise fees paid, or maybe a region, and then there's regional owners, and then part of it there. And if you want to get anything done, you got to run it through, their legal and marketing and all these different layers in order to just do something, right? And just get it done, right? Well, Glenn Sanford came along and 2018, he's Inman Innovator Award winner for the most innovative broker owner. I mean, his whole part of the company is, they have core values, things like agile, innovation, integrity, collaboration, fun. I mean, these are some of the core values and things that how they operate as a company. They don't have huge offices. Why? Because one of the first things they did was said, how can we build a real estate brokerage that's not as dependent on brick and mortar office? So they got rid of these large office spaces because it was impinging the growth of the company. And it's hard to be a fast moving, fast growth, agile company with these big expenses and franchise fees and ownership agreements and blah, blah, blah. And it's like so much red tape and complication. How do we just get it simple and, have more fun doing it in the process? So, eXp came along and they are changing things up. But, one of the things though that was a stumbling block for me was I'm tend to be an office guy. Like, I'm in the office most days. And I have a wife and 3 kids and everything at home, and I love them dearly, but I needed to go to work. And so how do we go to work? How do we go to an office? Well, I ended up leasing my own office. So if you were to partner with me, you'd have access to my office. If you want to drop in and share the office space with us, you're welcome to do that. The other office spaces we have are through Regus Office worldwide. I mean, it's a worldwide huge network of offices. They're kind of shared office spaces, co-working spaces. There's little cafes in there, but you got to print something, you need to meet somebody, you can totally do that. Or a lot of people at eXp use a home office, right? So you really, create your bunker and build your space in your home office and make it just awesome. And then maybe you pop into the office when you need to meet clients, into my office or Regis' office or somewhere else to meet clients, or you meet them a lot of times at their houses, or maybe you meet at a coffee shop or something like that. Or a lot of times, right, during COVID, we learned how to do online meetings more and more. So, we're not needing these massive offices that are really empty a lot of the time. So, or you can create, which was something actually that I kind of liked the idea of doing, is creating the office environment exactly how we wanted it to be. As an owner, again, you get equity in the company, and you have more decisions, more say in how you want to set up your office. So say you want to, get a small group of people, or say you're a leader and you have your team or a large team, who knows, and you want an office just for your team. Like, you can totally do that. There's not, there's not the red tape of some of these other companies that are stopping you. And so you can just go ahead and create that office however you want. And what else? Access to so much more. I mean, I've shared a number of things, and really there's so much more in this company. I mean, they've got like a group health insurance options that some agents take a part of. There's also a commercial division that just launched, and it's actually gaining massive traction. It's just growing like leaps and bounds. They have a program called Express Offers. It's an iBuying platform. So if you have investors, you can come in and make an offer on a home instantly, really. So, the company is just growing like crazy, and it's no secret that it's going global. I mean, we are way beyond just the United States. We've got brokerage operations in Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, South Africa, India, Mexico, Portugal, France, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Italy, Hong Kong, Colombia, Spain, Israel, Panama, Germany, and it continues to expand. And so, there's just more opportunities here, both for you and for me and for anybody who chooses to become a part of eXp and become a part of our network. We can just, it's really an amazing place to be. So if you're at all curious about this opportunity and you think it might be possibly a good fit for you, feel free to reach out to me. You can schedule it online through my calendar. Call joshlavik.com. Again, call joshlavik.com and you can schedule it there. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this opportunity, but I'd be happy to provide any additional information to go even deeper on any of these topics. Hope you found this helpful. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you.